My beloved child, if in this very moment your heart can feel the message I am sending you, know that it is not a coincidence nor a vague sign. This is a sacred moment, divinely ordained, where the great wheel of time turns unceasingly, bringing you to the threshold of great change, of new beginnings, and of endings that may test your strength. I do not come to you as a harbinger of calamity, but that you may be prepared, so your heart will not falter, so the light within your soul will not be extinguished by the storms to come. Because, my beloved child, time is no longer abundant. Each tick of the clock is drawing you closer to a choice that will shape the course of your life. Today, I wish to whisper to you about a part of the sacred path you are walking, about the unexpected turns, the winding passages that seem to lead nowhere, and those moments when you collapsed in tears, unable to understand why your most fervent prayers were met with silence, or worse, with pain that tore at your very being. Perhaps you once knelt in the night, lighting candles in the wind, your hands clasped in desperate plea for salvation, for a response, for a sign, however small. And when nothing came as you had hoped, you felt abandoned, as though the world had turned away. But, oh child, it is in those very moments, when you believed heaven had forgotten you, that the universe was quietly rewriting your destiny in invisible ink. Remember this: not every prayer is answered in the way you expect, because there are things you have yet to see, yet to understand. But I see them clearly. I know that if I gave you what you begged for, it might lead you away from the path of light. I know that some of your desires are actually the shadows of fear, not the voice of your soul. And so I remain silent, not to punish but to protect. Your life, like a great river, cannot flow straight forever. It must bend and weave through rocky cliffs, deep forests, and hidden ravines. Each twist has its purpose. Sometimes, it is where you must learn to release what you once clung to with all your heart. Sometimes, it is where you must rise alone with no hand left to hold. This is not punishment. It is a call. To be stronger, to believe more deeply, to walk forward as one born to bring forth the light. The pain you have endured, be it loss, betrayal, loneliness, or despair, has not been in vain. Every tear you've shed has nourished the sacred soil of your soul. From that soil, one day, will bloom the flowers of awakening and true peace. But to reach that day, you must learn to walk through the dark without losing the light within. My beloved, do not fear the detours. Do not fear the unanswered questions. Do not fear the dreams that shattered. Because even when your heart has been torn open, that is where my light can enter most deeply. Trust that nothing happens without a divine purpose. No storm arrives without carrying a clearer sky in its wake. I know you may be weary. You may have given too much, loved too deeply, trusted too freely. But hear me now. Every sorrow you've carried is being woven into a cloak of glory, one that you will one day wear as you walk in the light, as one who has passed through darkness and did not fall. Do not ask why the answer came late. Do not ask why salvation has not yet arrived. Everything is in motion, even if your eyes cannot yet see. The silence from heaven is not indifference. It is a miracle being prepared with a precision only time and divine will can comprehend. Be patient. Continue living with a heart free of bitterness and blame. Keep loving, even if you have been hurt. Keep believing, even if you have been betrayed. And keep walking, even if your legs tremble. For I am walking beside you, in every breath, in every whisper of the wind, in every dream still unfolding. One day you will look back on this path and realize it was the unexpected detours that brought you to where your soul truly belongs. It was the seemingly cold silences that led you to an unconditional love, an unshakable peace. And it was those winding turns that appeared to lead you astray that became the only road home to your truest, most radiant self. I am still here, always listening, always waiting for you to return to the palm of faith and light. Never forget, you are not alone. You never were, and you never will be. This message comes not a moment too soon, nor a moment too late. It arrives precisely when your soul is ready to receive the truth, the awakening, and the healing. Whether you are reading these words on an ordinary day or amidst the storm of your life, know this: this moment has been divinely appointed. Nothing is random, and no coincidence escapes the will of the one who has loved you since the beginning. Perhaps you once felt lost when your deepest questions were swallowed by silence. You waited for a door to open, but it remained closed. You hoped for a miracle, but only found endless waiting. And in that drawn-out silence, you began to wonder, have I been forsaken? Have I wandered off the sacred path? Were my prayers not sincere enough? But child, I want you to know a profound truth, that no prayer goes unheard. No tear falls unseen. No pain of yours is meaningless to me. I heard you from your very first word. I felt it from the first tremor in your heart, but I did not respond the way you hoped, because my love for you is not a convenient kind of love. My love is wise guidance, and often what you need is not the same as what you want. Sometimes, my silence is the way I guard you from what is not yet right or not meant for you. I do not remain quiet because I forget, but because I am preparing something far greater, more refined, and more beautiful than what you begged for in desperation. I do not reveal myself with thunderous signs or dramatic words, but through quiet care, through carefully arranged events, through an invisible hand gently unraveling the tangled threads of destiny. Do not mistake my silence for absence. I have never left you, not even for a breath. Even when your heart is tired and your faith wavers, I am there, beside you, in what seems meaningless. I am present in the fading sunlight at day's end, in the cool breeze that soothes your wounded heart, in the embrace you receive when you have no strength left. You may not realize it, but every step you take, whether trembling or steady, is watched with unconditional love. When you fall, I do not scold you. I reach out to lift you. When you lose your way, I do not turn from you. I quietly realign the compass of your soul. When you despair and wish to give up, I light a small flame. Not blinding, but just enough for you to see the path ahead. My precious one, do not let delays steal your faith. What is coming for you is not being denied. it is being refined. The best things do not come in haste. They are built with time, with patience, and with the steady strength of your soul. I will not let you walk into anything before you are ready, because I love you too much to let what you receive become a burden later. Believe that everything you are going through is part of a divine arrangement, even what seems to you like a dead end, a failure, or a loss. In my eyes, it is a corridor leading you to a new room, more spacious and filled with light. You need only to keep moving forward, even if it's just one small step each day. Keep your heart soft, your intentions pure, and your faith unshakable. And when the appointed time comes, you will understand. Every moment you waited, every instance you felt alone in the silence of my presence, was a time when you were being gently molded into the best version of yourself. You will see that delays are not denials. They are my way of cherishing you, of preparing you for something far beyond what you have dared to dream. I am here, now and always. As you reach these final lines, let your heart open, not to seek an explanation, but to embrace a gentle truth. You are never alone. And not for a single moment have you ever been forgotten. My beloved child, the trials you are enduring, however heavy, tangled, or deeply wounding, are not punishments. They are not signs that you have strayed from your path. They are not meaningless, nor random, and certainly not proof that I have turned away from you. Rather, they are like the hands of a skilled gardener, patiently pruning what is no longer needed, so the tree can grow tall and blossom in due season. I know you may feel that too much has been taken from you. You may wonder why the things you cherished had to leave, why your dreams remain unfulfilled, or why those you trusted brought you pain. But remember this, the gardener does not prune out of disregard for the tree, but out of wisdom, knowing that without it, the tree could never grow to its fullest beauty. If the old branches and withered leaves are left to crowd the space, the light cannot reach within, and life is stifled. In the same way, I allow loss, rejection, or hardship not to hurt you, but to open a path, one that is clearer, healthier, and truer to your divine destiny. My love for you has never wavered. It is not diminished by even the smallest measure. It is as steadfast as the love of a parent for their child. From the moment you drew breath, before you could even call my name, and this love is not here to indulge you, but to uplift you. It does not promise to shield you from every storm, but it vows to walk with you through every fierce rain, every dark night. When you falter, I do not condemn. I wait for you to return, so I may lift you once again and help you carry on. So when you face failure, when a door closes before you, when your heart feels clenched in the grip of disappointment, do not be quick to judge that you are on the wrong path. Perhaps this is the turning point, divinely placed, to keep you from veering away from a higher road you have not yet seen. These rejections, though harsh in appearance, are in truth the hand of fate, gently guiding you away from deep pits and toward richer, kinder ground you might never have reached otherwise. In every hardship, there is a hidden opportunity. In every stumble, a sacred lesson, one that no book, no teacher could ever impart without your lived experience. This is how I refine you, not to make you perfect in the eyes of the world, but to help you become your truest self, the fullest, most honest, most radiant and compassionate version of the soul I crafted from the very beginning. You may feel broken, but I am only reshaping you, as a skilled potter molds clay into a precious vessel. Sometimes you must pass through fire, the fire of trials, of doubt, of loneliness. But it is within that very fire that you become strong, resilient, and luminous. Do not fear the pain. Do not fear the loss. What leaves you now, if it no longer belongs to you, is my way of lightening your burden. And what is coming, welcome it with an open heart, for it is new, beautiful, and more worthy of you. Every step back you are forced to take today is but a springboard that will launch you further tomorrow. Every rejection whispers, "Be patient, something better is waiting ahead." I believe in you, even when you doubt yourself. I see within you the seeds of strength, compassion, and sacred light. And because I see such boundless potential in you, I cannot let you settle for a safe, limited, ordinary life. I must push you to endure, to learn, to grow. Because you were not born to live quietly. You were born to shine, to bring light even to the darkest corners, simply by being who you are. So lift your head high, even as you walk through shadowed days. Keep your heart steady, even when your eyes are wet with tears. And believe, not just in me, but in yourself, in the soul I shaped with a light no storm can extinguish. One day, when you look back, you will see that all those moments you thought were misfortunes were actually my protective hands, guiding you the long way around, to shield you from harm, to keep you from settling for the small things you once mistook for everything. And when you arrive at the place you truly belong, your heart will overflow with gratitude for not giving up, for holding on, and for me, always, ever, here. My dear one, I understand from the depths of your soul how hard it is to hold on to faith in the darkness when everything around you seems to collapse. I do not ask you to be so strong that you deny your pain or suppress your emotions. I see the weariness. In every breath you fight to hold steady. I feel the anxious rhythm of your heart in every quiet night. And yet I whisper to you, hold on to faith, not because I need you to believe in me, but because you need that anchor to make it through the days when nothing makes sense. In the darkness of life, faith is the only light you can carry. A small flame in your chest, just bright enough to keep you from being swallowed by the night. It is not a promise that you won't be hurt, but a quiet assurance that you will never have to face pain alone. Faith doesn't erase hardship, but it gives you the strength to walk through it with your soul intact. I know the trials you face are not easy. Some come suddenly and leave you disoriented. Some bring you to your knees, unsure if you can go on. But I want you to know, not a single pain you endure is without meaning. Not a drop of sweat or a single tear falls without reason. Every trial, every upheaval, every time you are pushed to your limit, it is all part of a deeper plan that you cannot yet see. I never act carelessly. Every step you take, every detour, every encounter, no matter how random it may seem, is held within my wise and loving design. Where you see chaos, I see a form taking shape. Where you see loss, I see a path being cleared. Where you see collapse, I see the foundation being dug for a stronger, more enduring structure. So when you cannot understand why this is happening to you, remain steadfast. When you have nothing left to hold on to faith. Remember, faith is not a feeling, it is a choice. It is the decision to believe that even in my silence I am still working. It is the declaration that even when the sky is dark, the light still exists beyond the clouds. It is the affirmation that I do not see the way yet, but I believe there is one. I do not promise you that you will never stumble, but I do promise to always be there to lift you up. I do not promise that you will never feel pain, but I will never allow that pain to be meaningless. Every wound will be healed. Every disappointment will teach you courage. Every seeming loss will enrich your soul in a way nothing else could. And I know that on this journey, there will be times when your faith feels depleted. When that happens, do not blame yourself. Simply sit down, take a deep breath, and whisper to me, all I have left is this small seed of faith. That alone is enough. A single flicker of light is all I need. With just a tiny seed of faith, I can grow a garden of hope within your heart. My beloved child, the future that awaits you is not a vague uncertainty. It is being woven from my own love, patience, and faithfulness. One day you will look back and smile, not because life was easy, but because you did not give up, because your faith became the bridge that carried you from darkness into a brighter realm. And in that moment you will understand, I never left you, not once, not for a single second. Hold on to your faith, dear one. You are being guided, even if you cannot see it. You are being loved, beyond what you can imagine. And every day, you are drawing closer to the person you were born to become. I am here, always. And I will never stop watching over you, with eyes full of mercy and hope. My beloved child, in a world growing heavy with anxiety, doubt, and the whispers of discouragement, I know the hardest thing is not simply enduring your circumstances, but keeping your faith intact, especially when everything seems to turn against you, when darkness seems to overpower the light, and when fear grows within your heart. Yet it is in these very moments that it matters more than ever to cling to me. As an anchor in life's stormy sea, I call to you, my beloved, not with a shout amid the crowd, but with a gentle whisper that echoes within your soul. When the world trembles in chaos, when false lights begin to fall, that is the moment true faith must rise. This is no longer the time to hesitate, to fear, or to retreat. The clock of destiny is counting down the final moments of an old chapter, and as a new door prepares to open, you cannot carry a heart full of anxiety or eyes clouded with doubt. I do not promise that you will know everything that lies ahead. In truth, there will be times when you are completely uncertain, when you must make decisions without any assurance or guarantee. But listen to me. What is coming will not be what you imagined, but it will be exactly what you need. A different road, a new path, a vision unlike your old dreams, but greater, truer, and more beautiful than you ever dared to believe. Why do I not show you everything in advance? Because if you saw the whole picture, you would not need faith. If you knew all that I was doing, your love and dependence on me would not be true love. It would merely be convenience. But I want you to love me, to trust me, even when you do not understand. Even even when everything in you screams, "This isn't right." Now is the time for a different kind of faith, not the easy faith that comes when everything goes well, but the kind forged in fire, born in adversity. A strong faith, unshakable, not blown away by slander or whispers that you are bound to fail. A courageous faith that dares to walk without seeing the way, that dares to receive my plans even when they shatter the ones you held on to so tightly. Rise up, not with the pride of the world, but with the quiet strength of one who knows they are unconditionally loved. Put on the armor of faith, and let no fear enter your heart. Reject the whispers that make you doubt yourself or doubt me, for those voices do not come from love. They come from deception. They come to rob you of hope, light, and the trust that I am still working in your life. My plan for you is not just great. It is exquisitely detailed. Every aspect of your life, from the smallest dream to the moments that seem random, is part of a perfect design. You cannot see it all now, but one day you will look back in awe and wonder, how could everything have been arranged so beautifully? You will realize the waiting had a purpose. The detours were not truly lost, and even the stumbles carried precious lessons. But to reach that greatness, the one and only requirement is not talent, not accomplishments, not perfection. It is faith. A simple yet enduring faith. A trust that you dare to place fully in my hands, even when your own hands are trembling. That faith is the key to unlocking your destiny, not to become someone else, but to become the very person I created you to be from the beginning. So keep walking, firmly, with unwavering trust. Know this, the best is yet to come. I am leading you to a place where your heart will be healed, your dreams reignited. Not fragile dreams, but enduring visions built on rock, not sand. You do not walk alone. I go before you to prepare the way. I go behind you to protect. I walk beside you to support. And I dwell within you to awaken a strength you never knew you had. Step forward, not with perfect feet, but with a brave heart. Now is the time to believe, not in the old way, but with a new kind of faith. Deeper, stronger, and more real than ever before. My beloved child, do not fear the changes. Do not shy away from sudden turns or unexpected endings that leave you bewildered. I know that you may feel lost, confused, and anxious when what was once familiar vanishes like mist at dawn. But my dear one, what you see as an ending is, in my eyes, merely a door closing so another wider and brighter can be opened. Every ending, no matter how painful, is sowing the seeds of a new beginning, a completely different chapter in your life story, written with love, maturity, and light. My beloved Ian and Amy, my beloved Doc, do not fear the storm, for it is the strong winds that will sweep away what no longer belongs in your life. It is the heavy rains that will wash away the old, softening the soil of your heart, readying it to receive new seeds of life. And after the storm, the sky will be clearer than ever before. I do not promise that you will never get wet in the rain, but I assure you that the rain will never be in vain. It will cleanse, renew, and transform you in a way nothing else can. You once whispered to me in the darkness, when the world was silent and only your heart's voice could be heard. Those prayers, whether they were trembling breaths or voiceless cries, I heard them all. Not a single word of yours disappeared into the void. They rose straight to me, cherished like the most precious of petitions. You may feel as if no one listens, no one understands, but I do. And I have remembered every word, every little hope you held quietly within your heart. I have seen your tears. Those drops that seemed invisible to others were jewels in my eyes. I did not let them fall in vain. Each tear I have guarded as a treasure, kept close to my heart. Because every tear is proof of deep love, of a hope not yet extinguished, of a faith still clinging in the storm. And I am never indifferent to your pain. Never have I stood by without acting. I have walked beside you, even when you didn't realize it. In every moment that seemed most empty, I was quietly at work. You didn't see me, didn't hear me, but that does not mean I was absent. You may have felt alone, but you have never been forsaken. I was still there, in the soft breath of the morning breeze, in the gentle light of sunset. In every moment your heart continued to beat, even if only faintly. So, my beloved child, welcome the changes ahead with a heart not trembling but full of hope. Let the old pass, not because it lacked value, but because it has fulfilled its purpose in your life. Do not close your heart to the future just because the past brought pain, for what I am about to do in your life will not resemble what you have known. It will be new. It will be tender. It will be exactly what you need, not according to your will, but according to the wise love I hold for you. Change is not the end of safety. It is the beginning of growth. It is an invitation to discover hidden parts of yourself you never knew existed. It is a journey from who you were to who you were born to become. And I will be with you every step of the way, lifting you when you are weary, steadying you when you stumble, and blessing you when you dare to move forward. With faith and courage. Do not be afraid, my child. Do not tremble before the unknown. I hold tomorrow in my hands, and I am holding your hand right now. What lies ahead is not destruction, but unveiling. Not loss, but preparation for something greater. Let my love cast out fear. Let faith clear the path for your feet. And trust this: what is coming will be more beautiful, more profound, and more perfectly timed than anything you've ever hoped for. I have seen you. Truly seen you. I have heard you. Truly heard. And I will never stop loving you. Truly love. My beloved child, your cries, whether silent or soul-wrenching, have never been forgotten. Every sob in the midnight hours, every time your head fell in despair when no one was watching, has reached me like a silent symphony, tender, sincere, and soaked in tears. Not one plea of yours has vanished into the void. Not one moment on your knees has gone unnoticed by me. You may have thought no one was listening, but I have been listening. To every word, every broken breath, every longing you dared not voice. When you feel like the world has turned its back, when those you trusted are no longer by your side, and you begin to wonder if you are invisible, know this: I still see you. I see the wounds hidden beneath your smile, the sacrifices no one noticed, and the dreams you laid aside for duty, for responsibility, for love. I see not only with eyes all-knowing, but with a heart that beats for you. And when you feel unloved, when you believe you're no longer worthy of love, Let me say this. I have never stopped loving you. Not for your strength or weakness, not for your triumphs or failures. I love you simply because you are you. The love I have for you cannot be measured by earthly standards. It does not shift with emotion, circumstance, or time. It is deeper than oceans, firmer than mountains, and warmer than the sun on a winter's day. That love is eternal. And now, my child, the moment of transformation has arrived. No longer days of waiting in the dark. No longer silent prayers you feared were forgotten. This is the time my hand will move. Not in the way you imagined, but in a way that will leave your heart in awe. You will witness the impossible become reality. You will see what was dead inside you come alive again. What you thought was lost forever will return, renewed, more beautiful, more whole. This is not coincidence. It is not luck. You are standing at the threshold of a sacred moment, a moment written before the foundations of the world. Before your first breath, this time was already etched into my heart. You are not lost. You are exactly where you are meant to be. And what you are about to step into is not just a new season, but a destiny unfolding. Bright, full of grace, and beyond expectation. I know you may still feel fear of what might be waiting just ahead. But remember, you are not stepping into this moment alone. I will go before you, making the way. I will walk beside you, holding you up. I will come behind you, guarding your path. And right now, right here, I am doing something new. In your mind, in your soul, and in every corner of your life you thought was closed for good. Open your heart. Take a deep breath. Release what no longer serves your growth. Let me do a miracle in your life. Not to surprise you, but to remind you. You were never forgotten, never rejected, never loved any less. Not even for a day. This moment is real. This opportunity is real. I am calling you, not into something fleeting, but into fullness. Not back to the old, but forward into overflowing life. Not with mere logic, but with surrender, with faith, with love. Step forward, for everything I have prepared is waiting for you. Your heart will be healed, your dreams will be rekindled, and you will see that not for a single moment have I ever stopped loving you. My precious child, the moment you are living now is not just a random point in time. It is a sacred moment, carefully designed long before you entered this world. It has not arrived by chance, but as a holy invitation, inviting you to step out of comfort, to shed the old, and to move toward what I prepared for you from the very beginning. But to fully enter this moment, you must do one thing. Bring your whole heart, your whole mind, and your whole soul into the present. You must be still enough to listen, not to the noise around you, but to the whisper within. This is not the time to delay, not the time to linger in doubt or dwell in what has passed. This is the time to act, to move, to courageously step forward, even when you cannot see the full picture, even when the path ahead is veiled like morning mist. I am not asking you to know everything. I am simply inviting you to trust. Just one more step, just one small light. That is enough for today. You don't need to see the whole road. You only need to see one step, and I will take care of the rest. The light I give is not for control, but for trust. Not so you can manipulate the future, but so you can surrender to the one who holds it. That one is me. In the hours ahead, you may face choices that stir confusion and make your heart race, decisions that feel too heavy, crossroads that seem too vast, too risky, and the weight of it all may press upon you, leaving you feeling small, alone, and inadequate. But, my child, do not be afraid. I am there in every choice, every moment, every breath you thought you faced alone. You are not walking through this with your strength alone. You are not making weighty decisions with your own wisdom. I am the companion. I am the wisdom. And if you open your mouth, if you utter even a single cry, "Help me, Father," I will answer instantly, without delay, without distance. Seek me not only in times of desperation, but in every moment. Ask of me not just when you feel powerless, but even when you still have strength. For you are not meant to carry everything on your own. The burden is not yours to bear. This journey, if shared with me, will become lighter, gentler, and filled with hope. I will guide your every step, not too fast that your heart loses its way, and not too slow that you miss your moment. I know precisely the pace you need, the path you must walk, and what awaits you at the end of this slope. Nothing is beyond my reach. No situation catches me off guard. So, you need not be afraid. Remember, the light does not need to illuminate the entire path. It only needs to shine enough for one step. Then the next step will appear, and the next, until you realize I have led you through the entire journey, and you were never alone, not for a single moment. Keep your soul still, keep your heart tender, and keep your eyes lifted. When too many voices surround you, seek mine. When every direction seems reasonable, choose the one I show. Not the easiest, but the one that leads to where your soul truly longs to be. You are exactly where you need to be. This moment is not a mistake. And I, who began a good work in you, will be faithful to complete it perfectly. Now, walk forward with confidence. Not because you know everything, but because you trust completely. Not because you see clearly, but because you are led by my hand, the hand that has never let you go. My beloved child, on this journey, I know you strive to understand, to make sense of it all, to find some order amidst the chaos. You've often asked, why is this happening? Why must I wait so long? Have I done something wrong? And you've tried to analyze, to rely on your own understanding for answers. But, my child, pause for a moment, so I can remind you of this. Do not lean solely on your own understanding. Your wisdom is precious, but it has limits. Your vision is admirable, but it cannot see beyond the boundaries of now. Meanwhile, my ways are higher than yours. My thoughts are beyond your thoughts. You see only one piece, but I see the whole picture. You see a closed door, but I know it's the first step toward a greater, wider, more worthy door. I know there are things that hurt you, things that make you feel as though you've lost opportunities, lost loved ones, lost direction. But my dear one, in the greater plan I have for you, what you see as loss might in fact be hidden victory, a gift disguised in sorrow. I never take anything from you unless it no longer serves your growth. And I never take without giving back, usually more, greater, and far better than you imagine. As for the delays you are enduring, you may think I am not listening, that I am not acting, but I want you to understand that delay is not denial. It is divine preparation, because great things take time. Great things cannot be rushed. I am clearing the way, preparing the circumstances, and more importantly, I am preparing you. If you step into greatness before you are ready, it can become a burden, but if you enter at the right moment, it becomes glory. And then, there are the things that seem like barriers. Unexpected hardships, closed doors, broken relationships, dreams that fall apart. You call them failures, hindrances, but I want you to know, sometimes those very obstacles are a divine push, the force that moves you away from the old, so you can step into where your true destiny begins. Without the interruption, you might never leave the harbor. Without the wound, you might never begin the healing. So, my beloved child, don't cling too tightly to what you think is right. Don't conclude too soon when the story isn't over. Don't treat the present moment as the whole story. For I, the author of your life, am still writing. Every chapter, no matter how dark, is leading toward an ending filled with light. Every setback is a setup for a greater leap forward. And every unexpected event is woven with love and wisdom beyond human understanding. You, 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 you. Let me lead the way. Surrender not just your dreams, but also the unanswered questions. Let go of the need to understand everything, and instead trust more deeply. Because what I am preparing for you doesn't need explanation. It requires surrender. It needs no justification. It needs faith. You don't have to understand it all. You only need to know that I am here, and what I am doing far exceeds anything you could ask for or imagine. If you let go, I will do something new. If you believe, I will do something wondrous. And if you walk by faith, I will lead you to the place where your soul truly belongs, whole, complete, and at peace. Now, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and say to me, I don't understand it all, but I trust you. And that is where the miracle begins. My precious child, there will come a time when all around you is a sea of noise, the clamor of the world, the rumors, the creeping fears, the whispers of doubt, and the relentless rush. All of it like a flood trying to drown your mind, to overwhelm the gentle, loving voice I whisper to you each day. In those moments I plead with you, do not be swept away. Pause. Return to stillness, to the place where my voice does not shout, does not demand, does not overpower, but gently echoes in the depths of your soul. I do not compete with the world for your attention. I wait. I am patient. I keep whispering, even while the world screams. And I believe that if you truly long to hear me, you will recognize my voice. Quiet, gentle, yet full of power. My voice does not bring anxiety, does not add weight. My voice is peace. Peace that defies logic. Peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. Peace that storms cannot shake. It is peace that surpasses all understanding. A deep knowing in your heart that even without knowing what comes next, you can stand firm because you know I am here. But to hear that voice, you must learn to be still. You must learn to step away from the noise, from the rush of reaction, from the persistent grip of fear. I am not in the noise. I am in the sacred stillness. And there, I will show you the way. Not with a clear map, but with a small light, a gentle nudge, a stirring in your spirit that lets you know this is the next step. My child, do not let the chaos pull you away from me. The world will always be busy. It will always try to distract you with news, worry, comparison, and fears that seem reasonable. But in me, only in me, will you find the deep peace your soul is longing for. In my presence there is fullness of joy, not fleeting happiness, but true contentment, the kind that makes you smile even through tears. In me there is clarity, not worldly wisdom, but a higher perspective that lets you see things as they truly are. In me there is strength for the road ahead, not strength from willpower, but from the confidence that you are loved, held, and guided every step of the way. You don't have to strain yourself trying to understand everything. You only need to sit quietly in my presence. Take a deep breath. Lay down your burdens and open your heart. In that moment I will come, not with noise, not with pressure, just a full and quiet presence, allowing you to realize you are not alone and you have never been lost. Make time each day to return to that still place. Let your soul be steeped in my light. Let every breath, every thought, every dream of yours be warmed by the unconditional love I have for you. Because there, in my presence, is where you will find yourself. It is where healing flows. It is where purpose, peace, and joy are restored. Joy that the world cannot take away. And from that place, you will step out, not with empty hands, but with a heart full of light. Not with trembling, but with courage. Not alone, but with me, forever by your side. My beloved child, I was there, in every silent battle you faced alone. I saw the moments when you collapsed, not because you were weak, but because you had been strong for too long. I counted every tear that fell, unseen by others but not by me, and I missed nothing. Every burden you carried in secret, every disappointment you masked with a weary smile, every time you cried out to me in desperation, "When will this season end?" All of it is engraved upon my heart. You may have walked through long seasons, seasons of pain, of doubt, of promises yet unfulfilled, There were days you felt everything was against you, as though you were abandoned in a desert with no way out. But child, those seasons were not in vain. I used every moment to prepare you, to strengthen you, to root you deeply for this very time. You may not see it, but you have changed. Every time you chose to rise instead of surrender, to believe instead of doubt, to love even when your heart had been broken. That was when I was working in you. You thought you were merely surviving, but in truth, you were being forged, made strong, made deep, made unshakable. The fire you walked through did not consume you. It refined you. It burned away the false, the temporary, leaving only the purest essence of your soul. The storm did not uproot you. It planted you deeper. Just as a tree drives its roots down when the wind rises, your heart has learned to cling to faith. Not a shallow faith, but one that is real, alive, and resilient. Now you are no longer who you were yesterday. Perhaps you still carry scars, but those scars are proof that you have lived, that you have fought, and that you have overcome. They mark you as one who walked through fire and did not burn, as one who wandered through darkness and still kept the flame alive. You are not merely a survivor. You are one who has been restored, refined, and reshaped by my own hands. And the most beautiful part? Everything you have been through was not to make you endure better, but to prepare you for something greater. I did not allow you to walk through those hard years just so you could make it through. I prepared you so that now, as the new season opens, you may enter it with strength, with courage, and with a soul that has been made ready. Every quiet victory you have won matters. Every time you said, "I still believe," even with a cracked heart, it echoed through the heavens. And now, I want you to know this. Nothing you've gone through is wasted. It all brought you here, to this very moment, to this exact place, to the very person you were born to become. Lift your head high. See yourself through my eyes, not as one worn out by battle, but as one who emerges from the furnace, radiant with faith, deepened by experience, and humbled by love. And if you've ever doubted this, listen to me. You are stronger than you ever believed. And that is what I intended from the beginning. Now is the time to live as one who has been prepared. No more fear, no more doubt, for you have been forged in fire, rooted in wind, and now ready to bloom in your own season. My beloved child, I am making all things new, not just around you, but within you. Right now, I am quietly transforming the barren places of your soul into fertile ground for new life. I am rekindling dreams you thought had died, healing wounds you believed had already scarred over, awakening within you a hope once buried beneath fear and disappointment. Don't think you are just moving through a phase. You are being reborn. In spirit, in faith, and in the very identity I placed in you from the beginning. As the hours ahead unfold, though some things may remain unclear, some doors may still be closed, some choices unanswered, watch my hand in every detail. I am working, silently, but profoundly. In the encounters that seem accidental, in the tiny coincidences, even in what feels like delay or senselessness. Nothing is random. I am the one orchestrating every moment, every step, every heartbeat in the story of your life. I am the Alpha and the Omega of your faith. I am where your deepest longings begin, and I am where every dream will be fulfilled. I am weaving every thread, both the coarse strands of pain and the silky strands of joy, into a masterpiece. You may not see it now, but as time passes, when you step back, you will understand. Every detail, every contour was crafted with perfect love and infinite wisdom. So trust the process, even when it feels tangled. Don't be afraid when you don't understand. Don't collapse when things don't go as planned. My process is never chaos. It simply exceeds your understanding. Trust the journey, even when the destination is still unclear. Because I do not ask you to see everything ahead. I only ask you to walk in faith. To believe that every step you take is part of the path leading you home to where you truly belong. Trust in me. Not because you see signs, not because it's easy, but because I am faithful and true. My word does not deceive. My heart does not change. My love does not waver with the seasons. I do not merely promise, I fulfill. I do not merely speak, I bring it to pass. The words I have spoken over your life are not vapor. They are living words, creative words, destiny-carrying words. They will not return to me void. Though delayed, though refined by fire, though tested, they will be fulfilled. No force can stop that. No circumstance can extinguish what I have declared. No one, not even you, can undo what I have begun in your soul. And I say this to you with all the love and power in my heart. You will see with your own eyes the goodness I have promised. You will walk into your new season not with old hopes alone, but with a renewed heart, a fortified faith, and a deep knowing that I am the one who never breaks a promise. So, my child, keep walking. Believe, even when you don't yet see. Sing, even if tears remain. Stand firm, even when the winds rise. Because I, the one who has called you, am still at work. And what I have begun, I will bring to completion, fully, wondrously, and right on time. My beloved child, be still for a moment. Take a deep breath, and allow your heart to open. For what I am about to do in your life exceeds anything you have ever imagined. This is no longer a season of delay, no longer a time of waiting in the shadows. This is a moment of preparation to receive blessing, breakthrough, and new light that I am leading you into. I am doing something great. I am moving not only in the world around you, but deep within your soul. I am stirring the deepest layers of your faith, awakening dreams you thought were long asleep, and expanding your vision to depths you have not yet explored. Prepare your heart, for the rain of blessing that is about to pour down will not be a faint mist, but a rich and abundant downpour, nourishing the seeds you have faithfully sown through tears, faith, and quiet obedience. Prepare your spirit, for the breakthroughs ahead are not merely external, not only changes in circumstance, they are inward transformations, leaps in understanding, growth in spiritual maturity, and divine empowerment that you are about to walk into. Walls will fall, invisible chains will break, The things that once held you back will no longer have power over you. For I am doing a new thing, and when I speak, no one can hinder it. Prepare your mind, for I am about to release revelation, fresh, profound understanding of who I am, why you were created, and the role you play in the greater tapestry. That which once confused you will become clear. Problems that seemed unsolvable will suddenly find resolution. I will give you heaven's perspective so that you may live not only by human vision, but by insight led by the Spirit. And when it comes, do not be surprised. Do not be disoriented if a door you thought was shut forever swings wide open. Do not be afraid when opportunities beyond your imagination begin to unfold. I have prepared this long in advance. Nothing is unexpected in my plan, only perfectly timed, and you are standing at that very moment. Do not hesitate when I call you into the unknown. I know it may make you anxious. Walking into new territory often shakes the heart. But, my child, I am with you. I not only call you to move, I go before you. I open the way and I walk beside you, ready to lift you if you stumble. I will not leave you to figure things out on your own. Everything you need, wisdom, courage, provision, and people, I will supply. You don't need to know it all. You only need to be willing. Willing to believe. Willing to obey. Willing to move when I say go. I am not looking for perfection in you. I am looking for a willing heart, a surrendered spirit, and a faith that dares to say, I don't know everything, but I trust you. So, my dear one, open your heart to receive. Keep the flame of faith burning. Let your hope come alive again, not based on your own ability, but on my promise that never fails. What I have spoken, I will fulfill. What I have declared, I will bring to pass, and when the doors open, you will know. It was not by your effort, but by my grace. Be ready for a new season, a season of unveiling, glory, and restoration is drawing near. And I, as always, am here and will not leave your side. My beloved child, in the days when you feel small, lost, or invisible in the crowd, let me remind you of this. You are not alone. You are not just an isolated soul struggling through a private journey. You are part of something far greater. A wondrous story written with love and light beyond the limits of what your eyes can see. Every step you take, whether hidden or seen, matters. Every act of obedience, every sincere prayer, every time you choose to believe despite doubt, all are weaving together a divine tapestry, one that connects you to millions of other souls in a network of grace and sanctified destiny. You may not see the whole picture now, but when the time is right, you will be astonished to realize your life is an essential, irreplaceable link in my design. Your faith, whether fragile or firm, is radiating light. When you choose forgiveness over vengeance, love over bitterness, waiting over giving up, you are not only transforming yourself, but also moving the world around you. You may never hear the thanks, may not see the results immediately, but believe this. Every small light you ignite in the night is reaching a soul who needs it more than you know. Your obedience, even in moments that seem meaningless, is writing new chapters in others' lives. When you choose to live with integrity, perseverance, love, and sacrifice, you are planting seeds that will grow in lives you may never meet. But I see, I know, and I never let a single sacrifice of yours fall to the ground in vain. You are my hands. When you help the weak, I am touching them through you. You are my voice. When you comfort the fallen, speak encouragement, or intercede in prayer, I am speaking through your lips. You are my light. When you walk in love, in truth, and in faith, you are shining into a world dimmed by darkness, confusion, and the deep yearning for true hope. So never underestimate the impact of your life. Do not measure your worth by visible achievements or human recognition. Do not think of yourself as just someone small, for I have chosen you, anointed you, and placed you precisely where you need to be at the exact time you are needed. Your life is not an accident. Your presence is the answer to someone's prayer. Your faithfulness is the thread through which miracles are released. If you could see the picture from where I stand, you would weep, knowing that each steady step you take today is altering the course of a whole stream. You would see that because you did not give up, another soul found hope. Because you still believe, a new generation will be saved. So, my child, do not wait until something feels big to feel valuable. Right now, in the smallest act, in the simplest love, in the quietest faith, you are shaking heaven. I am proud of you, not because you are perfect, but because you are still walking, still believing, still loving, even when it is hard. And I want you to know, you are my instrument of hope. Keep going, keep trusting. Your part in this story, no one else can take it. My beloved one, cherished by me before you were even formed. As you hear these words, do not let them pass lightly over your mind like a fleeting breeze. Let each word sink deep into your soul, like gentle rain falling upon dry and thirsty ground. For nothing in your life is outside of my loving and profound understanding. Not a single moment of your journey is too dark, too tangled, or too complicated for me to see, to understand, and to uphold. Even before you existed in your mother's womb, I knew you. Not just your name or your form, I knew your heart. I knew every faint trembling of your soul, every hidden longing, every wound you've concealed behind hesitant smiles. I know what brings you joy, what brings you to tears, what makes you question your worth. I know you not with the shallow awareness of the world, but with a sacred, intimate knowing. Like an artist who understands every stroke and curve of their masterpiece, I know every moment of joy you will experience, the soft morning sunlight brushing your cheek, the times your heart overflows with happiness when you feel you are exactly where you belong. But I also know the tears you will shed, the nights you clutch your pillow, not from physical exhaustion, but because your soul no longer has a place to rest. The days when sadness has no name, just a quiet, persistent emptiness that seeps into every corner of your mind, and in every state, I am still there. I see you when you bravely choose what is right, even when no one applauds. I see you when you quietly make amends, when you pray in silence, when you turn back in the middle of a path that once seemed to have no way out. I also see the times you take a wrong turn. Not because you want to, but because you're too tired, or because you can no longer tell the difference between true light and illusion. I do not judge you for those stumbles. I love you even in your missteps, and in every seemingly small failure. I am quietly at work, turning them into essential pieces of the journey that leads you back to yourself, whole, stronger, and wiser. My beloved, never think that your life is a series of random events, a test, a game of fate, or a chessboard ruled by blind destiny. No. Every detail of your life, whether something you cherish or something you long to forget, is watched over by me, treasured and woven with divine wisdom into a tapestry of great beauty. At times, you may see only tangled knots and chaotic threads with no pattern or purpose. But child, you're looking from the back. I am looking from the front. And I see a masterpiece taking shape. So beautiful that one day you yourself will be moved to tears when you finally see it. I am the author of your life story. No one else. No pen but mine has touched the pages of your existence. I do not write in haste, nor with pressure. Every line is etched with deep love and clear purpose. Even the chapters you wish to skip quickly, the ones of loss, loneliness, and disappointment, are integral to the formation of your soul. No chapter is meaningless. No sentence is wasted. Every experience contributes to the becoming of someone I find infinitely precious. You, the one I have chosen, the one I have kept, the one I have never left. Even if you cannot yet understand why certain things happen, trust that every chapter of your life has meaning. Perhaps now all you see are fragments, scattered pieces, and a swirl of emotions. But let me remind you, when the whole story comes together, it will stand as a testimony of vivid portrayal of my power, my mercy, and my unfailing love. So lift your head, not because you understand it all, but because you trust that I do. Keep walking, not because everything is clear, but because I am the light guiding your steps. Hand me the chapters yet to be written, the blank pages, and even the passages written in pain. I will use them all to continue, to renew, and to complete the story I began with my very breath. And you will see that you are a living manuscript of grace, a testament to life beyond brokenness, a reminder to the world that with me, nothing is too late. No one is too lost, and no chapter is too dark to be rewritten with light. I am still writing, and you are one of the most beautiful things I have ever created. My beloved child, I know there are times when your heart is heavy with disappointment, not because of others, but because of yourself. Sometimes you look back and silently scold yourself. How could I be so weak? Sometimes you wonder if you've ruined everything, if you've strayed too far to ever return. But I want you to lift your head and hear me clearly. I am not just the God of glorious victories, but also the God of your mistakes, even your deepest ones. I do not love you because you are flawless. I did not choose you because you never falter. I love you, period. And while you wrestle with regrets, while you feel like you've ruined everything, I am still working, still quietly moving, still shaping every broken piece, every wrong turn, every weary sigh. because I do not abandon the work of my hands. When you fall, I do not turn away. When you choose wrongly, I do not withdraw my hand. When you lose your way, I do not leave your life. In fact, it is in those very moments that I draw nearer than ever. Because I know what you need is not criticism, but an embracing arm. Not condemnation, but a fresh beginning. Not shame, but restoration. My precious one, there is nothing you can do that will make me love you less. No mistake can exhaust my love. No failure can change how I see you. And likewise, there's nothing good you can do to make me love you more. My love is not performance-based. It's not measured by success. My love is grace, a gift without condition, without change, and without end. The world may attach your worth to achievement. People may love you when you succeed and leave when you're weak. But I am not like them. I am the one who has seen all of you, your light and your shadow, and still chooses to love you wholly. I am not surprised when you fall. I knew it beforehand, and I have already prepared a way to turn even those mistakes into opportunities for healing, for learning, for growth. Let me take what you think is beyond repair. Let me enter the hidden corners you try to conceal. Let me reach the places you feel unworthy and prove to you that even in the depths of failure, my love finds a way. You don't need to fix yourself before coming to me. Come with your mess, your unnamed pain, your lingering mistakes, for I am the healer. From the ruins, I will rebuild something more beautiful than before. From the ashes, I will call forth life. From what you thought was the end, I will write a new chapter. A chapter of restoration, of light, of renewed hope. And if you ask me, do you still want to use me after all I've done wrong? I will smile and say, I have never stopped choosing you. And I am still waiting. Don't run from me in shame. Run to me in honesty. Because when you draw near, not with masks, not with accomplishments, but with a broken yet longing heart, I will do wonders. My love does not waver. It is not based on your yesterdays, and it is not threatened by your tomorrows. It is a love as firm as stone, as gentle as water, and stronger than every failure's weight. So, my child, forgive yourself. Let go of burdens you were never meant to carry. Let me do my part, restore you, renew you, and bring you back to your original purpose. Not as someone who once failed, but as someone who is deeply, eternally loved. You have never lost your worth in my eyes. You have never slipped from my arms, and my love still flows toward you. My beloved child, I see you. I truly see you. Even the parts you try to hide. The things you wish you'd never done. The memories you try to skip over when they surface. I know the mistakes that have kept you awake at night. The impulsive decisions you made in weakness. The times you acted not out of faith but out of fear. Out of wounds not yet healed, or out of a desperate longing to be loved. And you know what? I am not surprised. I am not shocked by your failures. I am not confused by your wrong turns. I do not turn away when regret drags you to the floor, because I already knew before any of it happened. Not just with all-knowing wisdom, but with the heart of a God who loves without condition. I have seen your entire journey, the peaks and the valleys, the fleeting joys and the lingering sorrows. And I still choose you. There is no mistake you have made that I cannot redeem, no wrong decision beyond my power to transform. I do not waste pain. With wise love and deep mercy, I use even the cracks to let the light in. And even when you act out of fear, out of selfishness, out of wounds still bleeding, I am still at work, quietly, gently, yet unfailingly. You are not a failed draft. You are not a chain of irreversible errors. You are a masterpiece in progress, crafted by my own hands. None of your missteps have ruined my plan. On the contrary, I've already accounted for them. And I, with patience, will use even the detours to lead you back into something deeper, more beautiful, more complete. Do not let regret crush the hope within you. Do not believe that because you've failed, you are no longer worthy. I am not looking for perfection. I am looking for a tender heart. A heart that dares to repent, dares to return, dares to believe that my grace is greater than every mistake, and as long as you are still breathing, my plan for you is still unfolding. I know shame can make you withdraw. I know the weight of your own mistakes can paralyze you. But child, I never intended for you to live in the sentence of your past. I created you to step into freedom, the kind that is born from the very places that once brought you to your knees. Give me the regrets you've carried. Let me touch the memories you wish you could erase. Let me turn the page, not by erasing the past, but by transforming it into the foundation of something better. I will use those dark moments as soil in which to grow your maturity. I will use your mistakes to teach you humility and mercy. I will use your very falls to build your trust. Trust that you need me, that I am the only one who can lead you to a true harbor. And then, you, the one who once failed, stumbled, and doubted, will become a living testimony of my unchanging love. Not because you did everything right, but because you dared to believe that I could restore everything, even from the ashes. Do not look at yourself through the lens of failure. Look at yourself through my eyes, eyes that see worth in you, even when others only see brokenness. Because in my hands, those cracks are not shameful. They are places where grace shines through. Mind, you are still chosen, you are still loved, and you still have a future, because I am turning all things, even what was once wrong or painful, into something good in the end. I am the restorer. I am the healer. And I, today, still choose to walk with you, step by step, until what I have promised comes to pass. My beloved child, do not let the waves of shame and guilt sweep you away from my embrace. Do not let the whispers in your heart, "I've gone too far, I'm no longer worthy, I've ruined everything," occupy the sacred space of your soul. Those words are not from me. They are not truth. They do not reflect who you are in my sight. You are not defined by your failures, your falls, or the things you wish you had never done. You are shaped by my grace, a grace that does not shift with your performance, is not threatened by your missteps, and does not extinguish when you fall. I do not see you through the lens of your mistakes. I see you through love. The love that chose you before you even knew the difference between right and wrong. I know there are days when you feel like you're sinking. There are nights when you lie in silence, not from exhaustion, but from a soul that feels shattered. You think, there's no way this can be redeemed. But my child, there is no distance my love cannot cross. No crack too deep for me to mend. No brokenness beyond my power to rebuild. The plans I have for you are not erased by the mistakes you've made. I have not crossed out your name from the book of destiny because you once lost your way. Because I am greater than any failure you have ever tasted. My plans are founded on timeless wisdom, framed in unconditional love, and carried out by a power that nothing can hinder. I accounted even for your weakest moments, and I am still writing your story, not with the ink of perfection, but with the blood of mercy. Even when all you feel is brokenness, I am still at work. Not for 1 second have I taken my hand off your life. Even when everything around you seems to fall apart, when you see no way out, when it feels like the ground beneath you has vanished right in the center of that chaos, I am quietly piecing the fragments back together. Patiently, carefully, lovingly. You may think your story has shattered too far to have any value, that there is nothing left worth saving or keeping. But my child, in my hands, those broken pieces are the raw material for something miraculous. I do not discard what has been broken. I transform it into something new, something better, something deeper and more true. Like a potter reshaping a once cracked vessel, I am recreating you, not to be what you once were, but to become something more beautiful than before. I know that right now you may not understand. You may look at it all and see only ruins. But do not despair. Trust my hand. Trust that what you're walking through is not the final chapter. This is simply part of the process. The process of healing, renewing, and restoring. And I promise, the outcome will not disappoint you. Let go of the need to fix everything on your own. You do not need to have all the answers. You only need to place the pieces into my hands. Let me do what you cannot. Let me continue the story you thought had ended. And when you dare to step out from the shadow of shame and into the light of grace, you will witness a miracle. You are not defined by your past. You are made new by love. Not a love you must earn, but a love that has always been there, steady, waiting, wide open, from the beginning until now. So rise, my child. Step forward, even if your legs still tremble. Not because you are strong enough, but because I am upholding you. Believe that nothing lost is beyond redemption. Believe that no moment of your life is meaningless when placed under my light. I still love you, unwaveringly. I still believe in you, unshakably. And I am still moving, even when all you see is brokenness. Because in my hands, every fragment can become a miracle. My beloved child, can you truly see how wide and deep my love is for you? Have you ever paused amid the busyness, amid the whirl of life, to realize I am still present, not just in grand moments, but in even the smallest details around you. I am there in the gentle sunlight of morning, in the soft breeze brushing past your shoulder, in the petals beneath your feet, in the quiet gaze of someone looking at you with compassion. I am there, not loud, not showy, but always near, always quietly loving with all my heart. Do you know? I know every strand of hair on your head, not because I must count them, but because I care so deeply that nothing about you is too small for me to notice. Every change in you, every breath, every fleeting question in your heart, I see it, I know it. Before you even form words, I understand what you mean. Before you can name your longing, I already know it. I do not only hear the prayers you voice, I see the ones you cannot say. The ones buried deep in your heart, the desires you think are too small or too selfish to bring before me. But I want you to know, I care about everything in you, even the smallest things, because to me, nothing is insignificant when it comes from your heart. Nothing within you is hidden from me. No thought is too secret, no emotion too messy for me to reach. I see both your joy and your sorrow. I see both your strength and your weakness. I see the part you want the world to know and the part you're afraid anyone might see. And still, I love you. Not with conditions, not because you've earned it. I love you with an everlasting love. A love that never changes, never dries up, never fails. That love does not waver with your achievements or your mistakes. It does not grow brighter with success, nor dimmer with failure. It does not fade when you drift from me, nor burn hotter when you come near. Because I do not love you based on who you are. I love you because of who I am. And I am love that never ends. My child, if you've ever felt too ordinary to be deeply loved, know this. To me, you are irreplaceable. No one can take your place. No soul can fill the space in my heart reserved for yours. Every beat of your heart holds immeasurable worth in my eyes. Not because you always do right, but because you are my creation, made by love, for love, and through love. So when you begin to doubt, am I truly worthy of love? I want you to return to this unchanging truth. You have been loved, you are loved, and you will always be loved. Unconditionally, not based on emotions, but rooted in my very nature. Let this love soothe your wounds. Let it dissolve every trace of shame and unworthiness. Let it remind you that you are never alone. I am here, always here, and my love for you, steadfast as a mountain, gentle as a river, enduring beyond time, and deeper than any pit you've ever fallen into. You are precious. You are chosen. You are the one I hold dear. Every day, every moment. And I will never stop loving you. Lord, open the eyes of my heart, so I may truly see the everlasting love you have for me. A love that is not based on performance or failure. A love that never changes. Help me to feel your presence in the smallest details of my life, and to know that nothing within me is ever hidden from you. Lord, I carry in my heart cracks and broken pieces that seem beyond repair. But today I place them all in your hands. Use even what I have seen as failure to restore me in a way that only you can. Rebuild my life into something new, more beautiful, more steadfast, and more filled with hope. Merciful God, grant me a strong faith to follow you, even when I cannot see clearly, even when life feels chaotic and dark. Teach me to trust the process you are guiding me through, and to obey the gentle whisper within my soul. I don't need to understand everything. I just need to know you are holding my hand, and that is enough. Thank you, Almighty God, for being present not only in grand miracles, but also in the smallest things. In the morning light, in a tear wiped away, in the unspoken cries of the heart. I thank you for knowing me. Every thought, every dream, every weakness, and still choosing to stay. Lord, I thank you for loving me with a love that cannot be measured, that never changes. Thank you for seeing value in me, even when I doubt myself. Thank you for never walking away. Not when I've failed, not when I've strayed, not when I've shut my heart. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we can build a strong community of faith.